Most writers, whether new or seasoned, know that we have to hook our readers on the first page. And with the ever-increasing goldfishification of people's attention span, it almost feels like we have to hook them from the very first sentence. But then, of course, that begs the question, how? Hey writer, welcome back to the channel. I'm romance author G.S. Carr, and I created this channel to help you become the hero of your writing journey. And every hero needs someone in their corner, and that's what I'm here for, to help you make your writing stronger, clearer, and more powerful one tip at a time. Some not so great writing advice I've heard on how to hook your reader is, start your story with action. It's guaranteed to hook them. Throw your character into a car chase, start with a sword fight, and have them running from something.
This is bad advice.
Throwing readers into the middle of chaos does not make them instantly glued to the page. The reason starting with action doesn't hold up is because action without context isn't gripping. It's confusing. Readers don't care about a chase scene if they don't know who's being chased. Why does it matter? Or what's at stake? So let's talk about what you should actually be focusing on to hook your reader. And the answer is tension. Tension is what truly hooks your reader because it creates a sense of urgency and emotional stakes right from the start. Unlike action, which is just movement, tension makes us care about what's happening. It's the feeling that something important is at risk, something personal, meaningful, and connected to the character's desires and fears. That's what pulls readers in and keeps them turning the page, not just flashy scenes. To illustrate why action alone doesn't work, let's break it down with a quick example. Here's a version of an opening scene that I wrote that's technically action-packed, but not quite hitting the mark. Jade sprinted through the alley, heart pounding. Sirens blared behind her. She didn't look back. This all sounds cool, but immediately my mind fills with questions like, who is Jade? Why is she running? Should I be rooting for her or not? Is she the bad guy, good guy? I don't know. I'm no longer fully immersed in the story because a part of my brain is preoccupied with all my unanswered questions. And that's how your readers feel. And if I don't have those questions answered pretty quickly, then I'll probably do one of these. That's how your reader feels if you start with just action. Now, let's look at the scene again, but with a few changes. Jade's fingers trembled as she ducked behind the nursing station and tapped the stolen access card against the med cabinet's reader. She had 10 minutes before the lead nurse came back from break and noticed the missing inventory, and a sister at home who wouldn't last much longer without them. When a voice called out to her, she snatched what she needed and ran. At their core, these two scenes do seem very similar. We still have action, but with the second one, now we understand what's at stake. And that's what really hooks readers. You don't need a fight scene, car chase, or literal explosion to start strong. What you need is tension. That's the secret sauce. And the big difference between these two scenes, which of course brings us to the next question. How do I create great tension in my stories? A simple formula that I like is emotion plus character want plus flaw. Let's look at those in turn. First, emotion. Start with a strong emotional hook or relatable situation that establishes the stakes for the character. You can do this by showing your character experiencing a universal emotion that all humans have felt. Love, loss, fear, loneliness, ambition. We all know those feelings. And humans are emotional creatures at our core, and starting with this emotional tie bonds your readers to the characters. Next, let's look at character want. You need to make your character want something that they can't have yet. This gives readers a reason to root for your character while they pursue this want. And bonus points if what the character want turns out to be hollow once they get it, leading to a deeper revelation about what really matters to them. And finally, the flaw. Show me a human being and I will show you someone carrying a wound, fear, or misunderstanding about the world. If you are a person that thinks that you're no saint, you are wrong. Flaws and wounds are part of the human experience, and your character needs to have one that you establish from the beginning. These imperfections allow readers to see a bit of themselves in the character, or at least empathize with them, which makes for a deeper connection to the story. Now, I know it's tough creating flaws and wounds in our characters, despite knowing that all humans are messy, complicated, and in need of some therapy. That's why I want to share a resource with you guys that is a total lifesaver for me and that I use all the time. It's called the Emotional Wound Thesaurus. It's a guide showing you how to dig deep into your character's past and understanding how their wounds shape who they are. It lays out a bunch of traumatic situations, even like childhood, car crashes, all kinds of things that your character could have faced. And it tells you how those situations could have impacted them, including the fears that they might have developed and personality shifts that it might have caused. It even tells you the dysfunctional behaviors that their character might exhibit, as well as some of the positive traits that could have come from it. And it even shares how the character might face and overcome this flaw. It really is one of my go-to writing tools. If you haven't checked it out before, I highly suggest that you do. I've added an affiliate link in the description below so you can check that out. Now let's jump back and analyze the second Jade scene through our emotion, character want, and flaw formula. This scene establishes an emotional connection because Jade loves her sister and fears losing her, hence her willingness to steal the medication in order to save her. Despite Jade committing a crime, we understand why she's doing it and would probably do the same thing if we were in her shoes. Clearly, her want is to take care of her sister at all costs, and part of us wants her to succeed in doing it. This is the kind of setup that will have readers shouting, "Run, Jade, run!" at their books and e-readers if the police started chasing her. And while the scene doesn't go super in-depth on her flaw because it's only a few sentences, we can still see the belief that Jade has that she thinks the only way to get the medication is to steal it. Even if the reader hasn't been in that situation, they can definitely empathize, and it sparks curiosity and a need to know more about this character and what drove her to this point. To show that I not only give this advice, but actually apply it, here's the opening scene from my historical romance, The Cost of Hope. Sarah stared into the coffin-sized hole that represented the end of her hope. Mrs. Williams was dead, and with her died the little protection she provided. Rain poured down, plastering Sarah's dress to her body like a second skin. The wind pelted her with droplets of water, each one an icy razor. She didn't mind the pain. Because of it, her outside matched the painful bleakness she felt within. Okay, so let's analyze it using our formula. First, emotion. This scene is dripping with their powerful emotional hook. It has grief and hopelessness. The very first line immediately shows Sarah's despair and the finality she feels. The rain and the cold serve to amplify her pain, both physically and emotional. Next, character want. While the opening doesn't explicitly state what Sarah wants, the context makes it clear that she wanted protection and safety, something that Mrs. Williams once provided. And now that Mrs. Williams is gone, Sarah's immediate want is to somehow find a way to survive and regain that lost sense of security. And finally, flaw. This scene hints at Sarah's flaw, her deep dependence on Mrs. Williams for protection. The fact that her sense of safety died with this woman suggests that she couldn't build her own inner strength or self-reliance. It's a flaw that makes her vulnerable and relatable, and it sets up the reader to wonder how she'll face this loss and whether she'll find her own resilience. All of these elements work together to create tension. Sarah is emotionally shattered, stripped of protection, and standing exposed in the cold, mirroring her inner turmoil. We feel the stakes immediately. Will she find a way to stand on her own? How will she cope with this profound loss? And that's what hooks the readers and makes them want to know what happens next. So let's summarize everything that we talked about. Starting with action can be exciting, but without context and stakes, it's just noise. What really hooks readers isn't chaos, it's the tension, the stakes, and the emotional heartbeat of your character. That's what transforms a scene from to, oh my God, I can't stop reading it. And here are some practical takeaways for you. Number 1, start with an emotional connection that taps into a universal feeling. Love, fear, grief, ambition, you name it. Number 2, show your characters want early on and make sure that they can't have it very easily. Number 3, give them a flaw or a wound that readers can empathize with, even if they don't agree with the choices that the characters make. And number 4, finally, don't confuse action with tension. Action is movement. Tension is emotional stakes. So the next time you think to yourself, "Ooh, I should start with action," remind yourself what's really important. Tension, stakes, emotion, not chaos for chaos sake. Okay, so all this advice is well and good, but I want you to put it to the test. Think about the most gripping first line or opening scene that you've ever read. Did it have the emotion the characters want and the essential flaw? Tell me in the comments what about that scene stood out to you and made you want to keep reading. Okay, so that's all I've got for today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope this video helped you feel a little more confident in your writing. Don't forget to check out this video next for even more tips on how to improve your writing. And if you're ready to chase your writing dreams, don't forget to subscribe, and I promise I'll do everything I can to make this a space where writers feel seen, supported, inspired, and maybe just a little less alone.